wants to have the recording today. So does anybody have any questions today? Or should I do a sales training? Let me know. I didn't check my forms today. So a lot of times people just ask the questions in there. So in 1 second, here's the Zoom link for today. So do you guys have any questions about business or about anything? I'd be more than happy to answer questions. I mean, we'll start with Carrie if you have anything.
I was in the middle of typing it in.
Okay. You can just ask.
I don't have
Okay.
a question yet, so she can go first. Go right ahead.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
finishing lunch, so.
No worries.
All right. I've talked to you, Tiana, just about where we are, starting out with an app. I guess what is the most important thing for someone who's starting out with an app, and like just the important tools to have in our tool set? I know that you have a lot of resources that you offered, but just like basically starting from zero.
Okay. I mean, it's the app, the product. So like the thing that I always tell my clients is like, if you guys are a partnership, or if you were a sole proprietor, LLC, or whatever that is, the app is just a paid product or a free product with upsells. The company, the brand, or sometimes, if it's a person, the name brand is at the top, right? The reason the Kardashians or Yay can sell whatever is because they have clout in the marketplace. So whatever they attach their name to, they can sell more of. The number one problem to solve in any industry, whether it's an app or a product or a jean outfit, is awareness of the thing, right? And so when people are more aware of you and your brand, then more people would buy the app. So like if you guys don't have an audience to sell to, but let's say that, hey Melissa, let's say that you had a really good app idea and it was in technology, then you might need to go partner with somebody who has money, unless you guys have a large 100K or more or way more money in hand to market that thing. Because if nobody knows who either of you are and nobody knows what the app is, it doesn't matter if it's genius. What really matters is, how do people find out about it? How do they find out about you? And then they can start to buy it. Does that make sense? So the real problem doesn't matter about what you're selling, which is an app. The real problem is going to be, or the solution we're looking for, right? There's always a problem, so we can find a solution, right? Like it's not a negative thing. It's like, okay, this is going to be the thing. It's leads and sales. It's always leads and sales. So the more people who know who you are, the more people can buy your product. So if nobody knows who you are, no one's going to buy your product. So you either have to then partner with somebody and give up a large percentage of it, 50 or more. If you think about Shark Tank, everybody, if somebody pitched, why are they willing to give up 50, even 60%? Because 50% of zero is still, look, let me say it this way. 100% of zero is zero. But 50% of a million is 500K. Everyone with me? So a lot of times people hold on more to their percentages. It's either that or you keep your ownership and you raise capital, you get credit. There has to be money in business. And to launch a business, it will cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars when you're talking about something like an app or a song. If it's a low ticket item, you better have money in bank. Or somehow it has to, or you get it in front of an influencer like Mr. Beast, who you're going to probably to pay for, and then he shares it with people. So do you mind sharing what industry your app is in?
So it's there's more than one idea, but we decided that we're just going to start out with a gaming app. It's a parenting. It's a parenting app, but it's kind of like more a little bit like gaming.
So you're gamifying some parenting.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's yeah, and it can also apply to teachers. So just starting out with the parents, testing it out, seeing how it performs, and also for us to give us an opportunity to learn how to collect the metrics, how just like the process of launching an app. So I'm in digital engineering, but I would outsource the development.
Okay.
Yeah. So so just like going through that and like designing it. So the first launch would be just kind of like a test for us, but then the final product will be, after we get the learnings from the first one.
The thing I would say is, like, I would say my specialty where I narrow in on personally is coaches, course creators, educators, which this falls in under education. And app is a product. But the thing is that you guys need to know who you are, what your company name is. Those are the pieces that still need branded because people are going to search that up. Sometimes in an app store, but again, how's the app store even going to come about? So I would definitely like be researching business app development, and if there's any masterminds of people, of teams who've actually launched very successful apps. But again, when you have to research like what people are going to ask for, because even if you were getting an investor, like you usually have to have sales already and a solid business strategy. Like, so the pieces that I could help with when I'm answering your questions, just to be clear, would be your branding. What are you doing right now to grow an audience? A lot of times people wait till everything's all figured out to start growing. Gary Vaynerchuk talks about this. This is very important. He's like, yeah, before you even launch something, grow your audience, be posting on social media, be building that piece so that when you launch, you can make a lot more money. Cool. So that's how I would answer that question, if that helped.
Okay, got it. I'm taking notes. I'm just typing.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Awesome question. So we can come back to that and go more in depth because we'll probably have time. But do you feel like that was enough of an answer for that?
No, it's helpful.
Question?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, of course. And then who else has a question? Also, if you guys put it in the comments as people come into the room today, just say like me, and I'll go round robin through the questions. To speak to, hey, April, and hey, Melissa, I didn't say hi yet. To speak to that though, I want to actually I do feel like I should share what's going on with one of my clients because I think it relates to all of you. So one of my clients, Ani, and I'll share the screen right in a minute because I'll share, he had no website, no funnels. And then somebody interviewed him. It was like this random thing. And they have like a viral YouTube channel. They came up to him because he was in a Bentley or something. And they're like, hey man, we interview people who are like wealthy and how do they make money? And so he did this like impromptu interview, and then he gained all these followers and then started making videos. But at that time, because he had nothing to offer, no email following thing, none of that, was just working on, like, he had a website for his franchise, but even the franchise website, which he has like over 75 of them, like he's well off, but it didn't result in any list because there was no list. So this is just a perfect story. So I had approached him, and now I'm on his team, right? So I was on his team at first, like just paid out front to build things out. And then now I've been offered a team of percentage and growth with the company, which is cool. But like I had to draw my boundaries around that. So why I'm sharing this is this. When we talk about you don't know what you're doing yet, you don't know what you're selling, you still should always have a self brand. And I try to tell everybody this because in nowadays, like if you want to sell anything in the next 1 to 3 years, I would tell every person I meet, get your branding done, get professional photo shoots, and start posting about the things you're passionate about on social media. Use hashtags and treat it like a business. Because then when the opportunity strikes, when you figure out the thing you're going to sell, having an email list, having that website, you then have an audience. So back to him, because he has been doing the video content. He doesn't have a YouTube channel, really has no Facebook page, but he has a really strong Instagram. I think like, I'll show it to you in a minute. I just want I want to tell the story first before we get caught up in the numbers, what it looks like. Because he has invested his other business money from franchises and commercial real estate now into marketing his business. When I got brought on the team, and just from organic reach and just a couple hundred leads, we were able to close high ticket deals because his clout was able to sell for him. The problem why people run things and it doesn't work is they don't have a profile that's for them. They don't do professional things with it. So then it's very hard to sell. Does all that make sense? Like, it's understanding that you are in competition with Apple, with Spotify, with celebrities. So what is going to make it that people watch you? Now, the thing is, if you're not a celebrity yet, or you're not these big companies, it's actually very relatable. Like people don't care. Like there's more celebrities now than there ever was because we all have the power of social media and the internet. So let me share with you guys something. Let me do a little training. Do you guys have any pressing questions, or would you like to see how you then optimize audience growth when your pieces are actually in place? So that whole thing where it went viral before, he had nothing in place. Well, now he's been promoted by Wealth Today. It just got posted, which has 90 million followers. Okay. So how do you then leverage? Leverage is a really important word. I would type it out in the comments, like write it down, put it there. How do you then leverage if you get a media deal or an influencer deal or get on Good Morning America? Most people don't know how to then take that vibe and leverage it for money. Okay, because what's the point of getting on TV or getting in front of 90 million people if you don't have a way to monetize it? Like, I'm like, great, you saw me, but I wanted to hit my bank account. Raise your hand if you wanted to hit your bank account. So that's what I'm a specialist at. So let me tell you what I'm doing currently. Okay. I'm actually going to show some personal stuff. So I sent out a text to like, do you see all these wealth coming in? I sent out one, I'm going to utilize his email list. Okay. I want to reach out today, announce something super exciting. I'm featured on this account. So I emailed everyone, and now all of a sudden we have this long list that all poured in about 5-10 minutes, all of this just in 5-10 minutes of his leads, which I built the funnels for. This is without even being the new leads from Wealth. Is everybody following me? You have to learn to monetize PR. Okay. Second part, if I come over here to my Instagram, one second, I'm going to show you what I'm doing here. Is everyone following me on like why this makes sense? So here's the Wealth account. Oh, not 90 million, 9 million, still a lot. So do you guys see him here? So this is my client, Ani. So this is them featuring him. It's already in a couple hours had 6,900 likes and 183 comments. So I was telling them in the team this morning that the team needs to go through every single comment to see if they're legit or not and personally message every single comment. That's what I would personally do. I don't care if it's manual. One of these leads could be a $25,000 sale. How do you know? Are you going to not have a sale because you're too lazy to not go message somebody who's literally saying, hey, I'm interested? Is everybody with me? So these are the pieces why I do what I do and why I get paid what I get paid, because I'm willing to go do that research. Okay, then the other thing is, and I was teaching about this, was that I wanted Ani, and he's going to be posting it. He was getting on a plane to do a pinned post where he's going to share that wealth image. Pin post here, like, thank you, Wealth, for featuring me today. I'm so excited. For any of my new friends or those who've not got it already, here's my free checklist. Comment checklist if you want my investors checklist. Does everybody understand how that will work? So that post will go up here, and then sharing it up here, where then you would tag Wealth. So somebody did that and tagged him. But once he gets off the plane, so Wealth did that. So he's resharing it, right? But there's a whole methodology to this. So I just wanted to share that because now he's going to be able to utilize it, because now we have a funnel, which I built, was paid to build, to then grab these people's information. And why isn't that button working? Okay, it's working. I'm like, no, it didn't. We're fixing it right now all together. Okay, so does that make sense for everybody? Any questions about this?
Yeah, this is great. It's like how to transfer that to your, to your kind of direction and then funnel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
So like, I think people, about marketing because all of you watch Jimmy Fallon or these late night television shows, right? For years. Why do the celebrities go on when they release a new album or a new movie? Because they're promoting their work and they're getting it. So the movie theaters are like, you have to, and like book tours, if you sign a publishing deal, they're like, okay, but are you going to go on tour? Right. And coming from the music business, that they essentially tell you even before you're famous, you actually need to start touring around. Have you guys listened to comedians? Same thing. Anything in the entertainment business. So this has given me a leg up in the marketing business because it's the same now for any of you. So if you want to truly dominate in your industry, if you don't want to travel, then you better get on a bunch of podcasts and Zoom calls and get in front of people, as well as build your own clout in your business. But the truth is, you probably are going to need to travel some, and you are going to need to get in front of people. And it doesn't have to be a ton. I'd say 2 to 3 events a year, though, where you're getting in front of people who are in the higher caliber. And the truth is, you're going to probably need to pay for a high price ticket. Like going to a ClickFunnels event or a Go High Level event, paying $2,000 for just the basic seat is not going to work, because then you're just around all the peasants. And I don't mean it mean. Can I speak directly? But if you pay 5,000, 10,000 for the VIP inner circle to then go sit, do you not think you're going to get that ROI within a week, if not that weekend? When I started paying for the VIP pieces, I was signing 10,000, 20,000 deals on the weekends I was there. Within a week of my last Tony Robbins event, I signed about 100,000 in contracts. When I went to the ClickFunnels event the year before, I signed 10,000 the next day. So I've done this for years, but you go and meet people, but you have to go with intention, and you're not necessarily selling on the spot. But when you have business cards, and if you have t-shirts with your brand, and if you're just a nice, happy person, you're giving value, they're going to ask you who you are. So you actually could fill up your business by going to 4 business events a year, go the next quarter, meet that amount of people, and just do like a quarterly big biz event. But the more you invest, the more money you'll make. But it's like, for example, there's a David Bett Thompson or whatever his name is. He owns the Yankees. He's having a big sales event in Florida. I don't really want to go unless I can afford the $20,000 ticket. Why? Because I don't want to go unless I'm at the top VIP. And it's not a matter of like, just because I want to sit at the table. It's because that's where the movers and shakers and the people with the most money are sitting. And that means if somebody buys a $20,000 ticket for a 3-day event, they don't mind spending $60,000 on a funnel. Does that make sense? So these are just my life business tips for you. That's how you actually get ahead. Because otherwise, this whole like figure things out online, research on the internet, you're going to go crazy. You're getting false information. It doesn't work. Follow the proven path to the top. And I can teach you that path. Yeah. To the top. I'm going to take a sip of water and sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the heart.
Bless you.
Yeah.
I almost didn't survive that sneeze. No, I'm just kidding. That came out of nowhere. I just need my sip of water. So any other questions today? Melissa, you unmuted.
I'm trying to like put it together in my head, maybe. Maybe come back to me.
Sure. Yeah. I like how your background keeps kind of changing a little bit, April, and it's looking nice. Did you paint the wall, or was it always that color? It just looks different with the different flowers on there.
Yeah, I'm just messing with the lighting and stuff. So
nice. I mean, if you guys want, I could write up that post and give you the exact examples of how I would do that. If you don't have questions, or what, is there something specific you want to get trained on? We have time. I come here to serve.
You mentioned you work with creators, but also with educators too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So like, what are the type of I guess networks or events like that would be useful for something like related to education?
I would still just go to the sales events, honestly, in the funnel events, and I would buy the top. So like, for example, let me give you a few examples. There's a leadership conference here in March with Dallas with TD Jakes. And that's where like they bring in a bunch of it's like anything that has to do with leadership and sales is where you want to be, because you're not just going to you're going to network. And what you need to do is meet with people who have money to either buy or invest from you. That's it, right? Buy from you or invest with you or refer you. So what you want is to be in touch with people who have a bigger network than you or a net worth than you. And that's, you go to those places, you buy the seat at the table and you buy the VIP. Because really, I don't go to events anymore unless I can afford the VIP, essentially. Because like I don't see the point of it. Like I'd rather work online and just add my 10, 20, 30 people, right? Like, because I'm really good at online marketing. But if if we're talking about in person, the other one would be the sales one, because the truth is sales is like the best skill anybody could learn. So let's say you went to a high level sales one with that one guy. Another one would be the Hormozis, like they invest in apps, right? So they're hosting an in-person thing. It's $5,000 a seat. I think in just a couple weeks from now. So when these events come up, you're like, okay, like it's these smaller events like 5K a seat, 10K, even 20K. I wouldn't do that though. Let me be clear. Unless you have a brand in place, a business card, and a funnel, like I talked about with the Ani piece, I wouldn't invest in a high level event that you then can't monetize because they're going to talk to you and they're going to be like, okay, well, what's your website? Okay, well, what do you do? And you're like, oh, I'm just here to meet people. Like that's amateur hour. So like, I don't go and do any event unless I am the queen walking in. Because it doesn't make sense to me. Like I want to be able to close my deals when I'm there, or like connect and like I want them to be like, who's this person, right? And I'm not even talking about myself. It happens because when you walk into a room, but especially like when you're like, let's say your badge says the VIP, it's just human nature. I don't treat people different because I wouldn't say I consciously treat people different, but there is definitely like, we all have a, like, if somebody walks in and they look like a bum, that's a terrible term, right? Like transient, whatever you want to say nowadays. Look, I grew up in the 80s. So, whatever you want to say, bum is a terrible name for it. I'm sorry. Okay, so they are transient. And not even that they look homeless. Let's say they smell and they're not dressed that nice. And actually, let's just not even make it that extreme. They're in I like flip-flops, but let me just give you a picture. They're in a sweatshirt and jeans that are a little tattered, flip-flops, or there's another person next to them in a suit, smelling good, smile on their face, even though they're dressed nice, they're approachable. Who do you want to talk to? Who do you think, just from a surface perspective, takes himself more serious? It's not always the case. I understand there's lots of millionaire and there's the Steve Jobs, but in general, we all judge each other based on looks. And this is why I tell you guys, when you show up to do your video marketing and you do that, dress it up. You're going to convert more. People are going to take you more serious. We live and I'm not judging any of you right now. I know you're at home and we're on a Zoom call, but let me tell you, I get deals off Zoom calls because I show up on Zoom calls at a certain level. And not always. There's days on here I'm in my ball cap and I haven't gone to the gym yet. And I'm like, I'm going to go to the gym. So I'm wearing these clothes till I go to the gym. So, but in general, you guys know what I'm saying. Like, I don't need to tiptoe around the truth. I didn't make the rules. I'm just going to play the rules to win. So did you make the rules? I didn't make these rules, but they're there. So let's go win the game. So that's what I would say to that. And then like even showing up on video. So let me share with you, Ani's thing, why it works. He does hire like professionals, but I mean, like, look, this guy he's got style. Even when look, would you not take someone like this way more serious than, is everyone with me? Am I just making this up? Is this not how you judge people?
Well, and I know you always say it's part of your brand, which I know, Tiana,
yes, it is.
You always, so it's almost like a no-brainer when you think like, this is my brand too. Like I represent my brand. So yeah, I mean, he definitely has a brand.
He's got a brand.
Very handsome man.
Very handsome. Look at this stuff. Just look at this just speaks.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I told him when I was like signing the thing, I was like, yeah, but I want to be invited to these things if I'm on the team. Okay. He's like,
gonna take you on the jet.
I'm like, it's gonna happen. So, the thing is like, but do you see how this is all branded? So, okay, but he has none of these other pieces. He just got this rockin' Instagram, but this goes to show too in 72.7K, but he actually is really high engagement because I actually know people have more followers than that and they don't get the leads. The part of the reason is he is a value driven person. Okay. So like even before he had the funnel, he's giving value, right? So that's a great picture of him. This is when he was in Japan. It's like I speak something in my brain and then he's going to my dream location. I'm like, Ani. So I'm sharing this though, because even if you have all that going on, before he had the funnels, he couldn't get a lead. So when you are doing anything, an app is just an app, a course, a book. These are products you sell. You have to hold yourself as the queen. I'm saying queen because there's no men on here, as the queen of the room, no matter where you go. And that will open doors for you. Okay.
Is he, this was my question earlier, and not just to understand like all the types of products that are out there. This is where it was coming from and why I couldn't articulate it earlier. I know he owns like tanning things, and
He
he
has
does
a franchise.
business.
Yeah.
So is he going to start doing like, is it business courses he's doing, or is he selling a
Yes.
product? I'm just curious. Okay, got it.
Absolutely.
It's
So
like
what
how
he's
he's
doing,
monetizing that. Yeah.
yep.
Got it.
So what he is doing here, I'll break the whole thing down so you
Thanks,
can
Tiana.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I pitched him, I didn't know if he needed funnels. I went to his franchise website because I didn't know he wanted to do education. I'd seen some of his videos, so I actually thought maybe he should do business coaching. So what he's doing is his whole website, which I built all this in Go High Level. So I did custom coded because Go High Level is not naturally going to look like this. But this is why you work with me, right, everybody? Okay, so and I wrote all this copy in every way and everything. So this is like he did a whole course on how to invest in commercial real estate. So the course is a few thousand, but then he's going to have a mastermind, which is the 25K level. Okay. And that's where they work with him one-to-one. They do weekly Zoom. He actually helps them with deals. And they actually also can meet with him in Dallas and go through the deal. So that's more the mentorship mastermind. And then there's the other courses, which are on the school platform. And it's really good. So I actually have to finish his program thing because I just got like that all just finalized this last week. So I have to go through here. So what I'm going to do is going to go make just so from a branding perspective for all of you, first we lead with the checklist, right? And I'm going to change this image. Then we're going to talk about I might lead actually with mentorship. The reason I actually usually like to lead with the higher priced one is if people aren't ready for 25K, when they get here and they learn there's a group one for only $2,000, they're like, oh, I could do that. Right. So, does that answer your question? So that's what he's built. It's on the school platform. And then like all these leads that are coming in over here, they're coming in like as we're all talking. Do you guys see this? There's even more. This is from one text message. And this is why funnels and this is why branding matters. In each of these leads, I don't know. This one even says great marketing, proud of your organization. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Congrats, Tiana.
So, and I haven't even emailed his list in like a month because I wasn't on the team yet. So I was like, you guys go take that. But now they're here and like we're all working together. So, does that all make sense?
Yeah. No, it's great to just see how he's spinning that into things. It still relates to what we're doing every day with you.
Yes.
And it's like
Yes,
he's
it does.
connecting, but he
So
just
he did it the other approach. He created his wealth through franchises for years and through other things. And now, you know, it's he can now so here's let's talk about financing your business, right? So and I'm appreciative you got on the computer and you put your name in this time. Thank you so much. Amazing. So you either have to fund your business as you go, right? And or you can get capital, but usually it's hard to get capital until you've been in business. So you kind of like that's why like the Hormozy thinks if you guys are working through the 100 million offers book this week, which I hope you are, he talks about the same thing, like sell high ticket, take the money, fund ads to grow the email list to then sell lower ticket when you want. And he actually talked about something I wanted to tell you guys. He says the bigger the transformation, it's the easier to sell, but it means it's more time for you. Whereas the lower the courses are harder to sell because there isn't that one-to-one exchange. So you have to figure out a really good marketing method so that you can have those automated lower ticket sales. Okay. So there is no shortcut here. The only shortcut would be if you have $1 million in the bank and you want to place ads. And even with that, I would say do a 6-month to 1 year. Every day will pour into ads. Every day you're showing up on live video. Like you can't just buy this. Even if you're buying ads, an audience, they're going to relate more and you're going to go further when you really pour into the content creation, video marketing, and doing that. Unless you are just paying for app developers and you have this incredible idea, but you're going to have to either get that marketed through a company or you self market, and you're going to have to pay for it. I wouldn't say I know exactly how to do that with apps, but either way, you have to pay for things in life. Like, it actually costs a lot of money to make it in business. It really does. Anyone else seen this? But it's worth it. Like, I mean, Carrie's been in business for 20 years. Are you like, I mean, how much money does it really take? We're like,
yeah, you don't know.
But we want to do it differently. You can do it in a way that you actually get ahead, but you have to be very strategic from the beginning. I wasn't. I'm coming from the school of hard knocks. I didn't even know what an entrepreneur was. I was just like, these terms I've learned as I go. I studied music business. I didn't study business entrepreneurship in college. So I was in my 30s when I finally started learning these terms and the financing. And because I was essentially like, I'm just going to make enough money to help my family and to pay my bills. It wasn't like I'm going to scale to 7 figures. But then, like, how hard it was just to make 5K a month. I was like, when I find, like, at 35 and I started at 16, so 19 years in, is like, and I mean, I was already growing at 30. I had my marketing company, but I was helping other people scale. But my mindset was smaller. I was stay-at-home mom and I was in a bad marriage at the time. And so I kept helping all these other people make millions. And then I was like, I guess I could do it. Like, I'm helping all these other people do it. Has anybody ever been there? Is it just me? So if you're ready to make your millions yourself, hold yourself like a brand, pretend you're going on Shark Tank, and just wake up, dress up 5 days out of the week. You want to take your weekends off or one Saturday? I'm telling you guys, there's a secret to this, and it's smile, dress up every single day, get on camera every single day, go and get that beast out of you. Like, be that person and own your stuff, ask for what you want and be the boss, because that's what the men are doing and they're getting it. And so us women, you want to get it too. You got to show up in a different way because it's different rules for us. So who cares? Go and do it. But it requires a different level. So just go get it. Don't be bitter about it. Just go get it. Get what you want. April's smiling over there. Like, don't you guys want to go get it? I'm getting it. So that's what I mean. It requires no matter what. So what's holding you back from finishing the to-dos? What's holding you back from, like, getting through it? Like, it's just showing up each day and giving your all and trusting that it's working out in time. And if it's not working out in the time frame you want, then adjust. I'd say when I was in one mastermind, there were 2-week sprints. So essentially, if you set your daily habits, for example, so remember we talked about with the Freedom Planner, you've got your goal. And then per main goal right now, you've got 3 daily tasks that you do. So if your money goal, for example, your 3 main tasks, which are controllable, a goal outcome is not controllable, right? So I can say I want to lose 10 pounds, but I am not sure when my body is going to release that 10 pounds. Or if it's 10 pounds of muscle, do I need to be specific? Do I want to lose 10 pounds of fat, but also gain 5 pounds of muscle? So the scale might just say 5. This is why it's very important to be specific in life. So yeah, do you want to make 10 extra dollars, or do you want to make like 10 extra dollars, but also do 5 hours of less work for the 10 extra? Is everybody with me? It's not, things aren't always just so like 10 and 10. It's like you actually have to weed out what you mean by these things for your personal life. So remember, a goal is uncontrollable. Everybody say it with me. It kind of rhymes. Goal is uncontrollable. But tasks are controllable. Yep.
Controllable.
That's right. So if the goal is $10,000 by the end of the month, then if you've been doing 3, 10, 10, 3 for 30 days and you're still not there, then you need to look at what part of your tasks need to get upped or edited to hit the goal. And you usually want to look at it in 2-week increments. 1 week isn't enough time. A month's a little bit too long sometimes, especially if you're going for a month goal where you're like, okay, if nothing's moving, then maybe I need to shift something. Does that make sense? So this is where you just have to get good at tracking. So I know it's annoying and I know it's mundane, and it's the reason why most people don't succeed at anything. So if you can just track your food if you want to lose weight, if you track your exercise if you want to be more fit, and if you need to track, and you have to track your daily marketing, what your numbers are on each social media platform, what your engagement is on your email list, like somebody has to do it. And if you don't have somebody on your team doing it, it has to be you. If sales aren't growing, well, how many sales calls have you done? And how many Loom videos did you do to try and get a sales call? Or how many people did you call to get your app developed in order to, and did you call any investors to get some cash flow? Did you apply for business loans? Do you guys understand these things are controllable? Apply for business credit, apply for business loans, get capital in hand. This is not, no business grows without it. It's just the truth. It's very rare for somebody to only grow on cash. You have to figure out how to get the capital in hand and then what to do with the capital so that you can bust it through the roof. These are the truths I wish somebody had mapped out for me. So I will share them with you.
I think I like to, Tiana, where I'm getting hung up in like doing the daily. And then when I don't see the results, and part of it is a mindset and adjusting expectation. It's like divorcing those two almost. Not that you're not going for the goal, but like just do this.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And just keep doing. I know we talk about sowing the fields and that, but sometimes you're like, I want to see a flower, or whatever. I need some wheat. But I think divorcing them is like important. And I think from just
I wouldn't say divorcing, I would say release. It's non-resistant.
Or somehow separating. Yeah, it's like two different.
Yes, because like you do want that, and it's okay to say what we want, and it's okay to ask for what we want, but you have to act each day like you already have it. That's how I would put it.
Yeah. And not like let that like deter you. Yeah.
Yes. So you're going to show up each day. Okay, let me give you an example. This came to mind, so maybe it relates because we're women, right? We all like fashion. We know April's a stylist over here, and I like to look pretty. Raise your hand if you like to look pretty and feel good about yourself. Okay, great. So you get it. So it's like this. So let's say that you are pinning images on Pinterest and you're like, this is my ideal style. And let's say most of them are Gucci and you're just like, that's out of my budget right now. But can't you go to Marshall's and say, you know what? I'm going to do what I can with what I have today. And I've got $100 and I'm going to go get 2 outfits or 1 outfit, whatever I can do with that. I'm going to get some pieces that I can pair, and maybe April can help you with this, but let's pretend like you had the knowledge you could go and do it. And I'm even going to get some fake jewelry. It's fake gold, but I'm going to look really good right now. I'm going to look really good today. And I'm going to feel really good today. When I take my selfies and my video, like I actually look like that person on Pinterest today, because I took that moment to be intentional. So yes, when I have the wealth for Gucci, I'm getting it. I'm getting it. It's mine. But until then, I'm still a wealthy queen, because nothing I put on my body changes who I really am. Nothing that I put on my body changes who I am. So understand, when I say dress up for what you want, it doesn't mean it. Should they treat us less than if it's a sweatshirt? But will they? Everybody, please say it with me. They will treat me less than if I was dressed to impress. Say it out loud. You need to understand it's the truth. They will treat me less.
Will treat me less
than if I was dressed to impress.
I was dressed.
Yeah.
Own it.
To impress. Yeah.
Don't fight it. It's the truth. So just own it and go kill it. May I speak to, so I go to Bishop T.D. Jakes Church, which is an almost all Black church here in Dallas. And I've been around a lot of minority things because of where my dad lived and like where I've lived. And I've lived in places where I'm the minority and gone to schools where I'm like the only white kid. So why I'm about to share this is this. Have you guys ever been to a church like that where everybody is dressed so freaking nice? It's like you're going to a style show and you're just like, how do they know how to dress like this? Like I'm in awe. Has anybody been there? Like where it's like that? You're just like, oh my goodness, they all look like the red carpet.
Maybe not at church, but
somewhere else.
At work.
An event. And you're like, how do these people know how to dress like this? Okay. And you're so impressed. And like, it's kind of like, have you gone up to someone who's got it going on? And you're just like, I mean, April's videos when she was, I'm like, how did she know to put that together? And so why I want to share that is, do you not think that maybe that culture, and I'm not in it, so, but I've like, there's pieces. Let me just explain myself. Do you not think they maybe dressed up a little bit because people were treating them a certain way? So they had to compensate. Do you guys not think that that's really some truth of this? Do you not think as a woman, you are not treated or paid the same? Can we just talk about this? So do you not think that you need to maybe take some extra steps? It doesn't matter sometimes. You can try and fight it, or you could say, whatever, I'll blow it up. So I'm going to dress to the nines because I will be taken seriously when I walk in that room. I will ask for what I want. I will sit at that table because I deserve to be there. And I don't really care if they treat me like I deserve to be there or not. Do you guys understand? As women, we have to be the forerunners, because I hope in 10 years from now or 1 year from now, the next generation down from me, though, they have an easier time as a woman to walk into the room with the men. So I'm in the boys club. Music business is about 90% men. The only way you're treated a certain way is if you're a 15-year-old little girl and flirt with the producer. So that's the era I was raised in. I never did that. And I refuse to do that. And I don't do it now. And so we want to elevate yourself in this place, but show up. Don't give up. Show up. Don't give up. You do actually have to compensate. Say it with me. I'm going to have to compensate.
I'm going to have to compensate.
And that's okay. Whatever. If I have to look amazing compensating, okay. But like, if you guys don't take yourself as serious, and you don't do it in a way with grace. And the other side of that is the music industry. I am going to speak to some things where they over sexualize womanhood rather than look at our brains and look at our minds. Am I right? So everybody has the right to do whatever they want with their body, and everybody has free will. But I will tell you, I'm here to help us women stand up in a professional way, to walk in the room and to be treated a certain way. So show up, show these people who's boss, and go get what's yours. But don't think you can go do it dressed like whatever and not taking yourself as serious as the next person. You kind of do need to pretend like you're going to a job in New York City. And I don't mean a pantsuit. I don't have a pantsuit. I mean, like, be your authentic best self. So when you're marketing yourself, and look, Carrie, it does depend what industry you're in. Carrie's in, like, are you in Ohio? And you're a computer developer. So she also is this unique, cool, like, band. There's the band, like, she goes and plays in the band. Okay, so each of us has a unique vibe. But what I would like you guys to do, what's on my heart, is to say, you do need to figure out what is your unique style vibe and show up like that on camera. So yes, we all have different days. And look, I have sporty spice look. We've talked about this. Some days it's the sporty spice look. So maybe you're a few different Spice Girls, but like, be intentional. So even when I used to go out on my hikes every morning in Cambria, so like when I was visiting last week, you guys didn't know me, but I was visiting my kids in Cambria, and it's like a nature town. The electricity was out. I had almost no reception at all times, and it's right on the ocean. And I realized why all my videos for like 3 years that I was there, I had a hat on, because like my hair is just crazy there. So I just like put a hat on, I put it in a bun or whatever, but I would always put my makeup on because I was doing these videos out on hikes, because that's when I was inspired and that's where I had cell service. So I'm sharing that because, like, whatever the level that you're at that day, show up, get on camera, get on video, talk about what you're doing. You know, Amal and Catherine, if you're working on something, how exciting would it be for you guys to do a Zoom? Like, hey, today we covered some few things in the development of our app that we're doing. We can't wait to talk to you guys about it. Here's a few things that we went and did. We called this one thing. We got on a 7-figure club call. Like, behind the scenes while things are still developing are exciting, right? Like, April, I told you, you should video the transformation of your space. Be like, you know what? I'm a little ashamed to admit it because I'm very good at styling my clothes, but this room is a mess and I'm going to get it together and it's going to be epic. So I'm going to invite you on the journey because I want to help you look good on camera, on Zoom. And that means our backgrounds need to look good too. So let's do it, friends. Is everyone with me? Yeah. So we can invite people on our human journey. What was somebody saying something?
I have a question about that. What if you have a full-time job and you don't want your employer to know that you're building something?
That I've run into that a lot with clients before they quit their full-time jobs. You do have to be more careful. So one, if you could start a separate account or even an Instagram to start with, if they follow your Facebook profile. So one, if you were doing a business name with somebody, you could just use the logo. But the truth is, as someone who's running a business, you do have to get on camera. So if they find you, it would be better just to say, hey, listen, I'm working on this passion business with my friend Catherine, and I just wanted to give you a heads up. I will be talking about it. I'm trying to grow an audience. I'm not sure when it's going to take off, but I'm just giving you the heads up that I'm working on this project in my personal hours. And the truth is, if they have a problem with that, unless you sign something, then there's your answer. And I mean, maybe you just need to make more money faster and hustle.
Or maybe Catherine can be the face of the business. You're making all the videos.
Oh, I have no problem with that girl.
Well,
She's
that's
speaking my
good.
language with the dressing to the nines and dress to
Yeah.
success. I may look like what I look like today, but I relate to this so bad.
Do you?
I'm not working at the time, but
Okay.
anytime I showed my face in the office,
Yeah.
I always wanted to look the best, and I
Yeah.
feel good when I look the
Yes.
best.
That's the thing, right? I feel so
Mm.
much better. I actually just so I had this those huge black garbage bags. I filled it to the brim with clothes. I got back from my trip and I got some awesome new clothes in California. Totally my style, right? And I came back and I was trying to hang them up and it was like full in there. And I was like, forget this. And I just felt this thing from God that was like, get rid of everything that has these past memories. This is your new season. And there's not going to be room for those Gucci clothes you want unless you actually also clear this out. I know those are still really nice clothes, but they're connected to your past. Get rid of the past. It's time for the new. So I filled up this huge garbage bag full and jewelry, even stuff I liked, but I just felt like, nope, because I had like the memories and things. And it was like, no. So I filled all that up and then I put the new things in there. And so what I was saying to that was like, when I went in today, and this was actually one of the ones I kept, I won this as part of a multi-million-dollar launch I was a part of. I got like sales bonuses and this is a very expensive jean jumper. And I put it on today and I was like, yeah, like this is that reminder that I'm that salesperson. I love what you said. Like, I do wear my Lululemon, but I will tell you when I dress up and I'm like ready, I already worked out and I put this on, I do feel better. So even though there's a time and a place for our PJ days, our sweatshirt days, our work from home days, like I don't want to dress up like this every day, right? I don't. But the days I do feel the best. So I love that you said that because, and then you show up differently. You're like, you know what? Something's good is going to happen to me today. Everybody say that with me. Something good is going to happen to me today.
Something good is going to happen to me today.
Something really good. I mean, aren't we all on this call as powerful women today? Isn't that amazing? Also,
Yeah.
Melissa, thank you for introducing us to Amal and now
No,
to
Amal.
Catherine.
Aw, I love
And where
Amal.
are you two located? Are you guys local to each other?
I'm in Westchester, New York right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I'm in
Westchester, New York.
Yeah, Jersey. But then we obviously work together. I know Tiana. We worked together for years and years in New York City. So
Very cool.
yeah.
And what about Catherine? You two? Do you work together? Or
Well, same. I'm really close to a mall. I'm literally like right around the corner. So
that's amazing.
yeah.
I like the poster, by the way.
Oh yeah, good vibes. I like your guitars. I mean, I'm a professional singer-songwriter. My guitar is in the car. I need to bring it back up.
Nice. Oh, my
Yes.
husband is the musician one.
Nice.
I'm not. And
Need
he
a balance.
was a full-time musician, went on tour. That's how we met.
Okay. And what were you doing?
I've always worked in tech.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
Awesome.
I don't have a musical bone in my body.
We all have different gifts and talents and it all matters, right? And the internet is amazing because these little waves go out and you like connect with these incredible human beings and you hope that one day we get to meet in person, but we get to share this moment together. And like just remember the way that we're creating this community here. There's a community out there for you, for your brand. And that's how it works. And it's just like assuming, of course, this is going to work out and exactly the right people at the exact right time are going to come to me, or I'm going to find them, or I'm going to go to an event. But either way, it's working out for me. And that kind of confidence makes it go a lot faster. So Melissa, back to that point though, about like goals, are uncontrollable, but the tasks you can finish and it helps make the goals go faster. the law of non-resistance and the law of attraction are really interconnected here, right? Like these universal laws. So the law of non-resistance essentially is like have the goal, but detach from the outcome or when it's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
But assume it's already on its way. So say it with me. It's on its way.
It's on its
It's
way.
on its way.
Think about your biggest goal right now and that you haven't attained, whether it's a travel or a body or a money thing. Okay. Think about it. You got it in your brain.
Yes.
Okay. Now I want you to picture that there's a barn around the corner from you, and it's this huge barn. It's like an Amazon warehouse. And it's like not just that one thing you're picturing. Think about like the thousands of things you really want. The vacations, whether it's a kid thing, if it's a this thing, if it's a that thing, if it's a money, if it's a helping somebody, you seeing it all in your Amazon warehouse right there. Okay. It's literally just like a third of a mile walk from you. Okay. And what you have to realize is it's already yours. It actually is your name on it. So think of it, and it doesn't say Amazon. It says Catherine. It says Melissa. It says Amal. It says Carrie. It says April. It says Tiana. And nobody else can even open those doors. It doesn't even need a lock. Like it's like your thumbprint, your eye thing. Okay. You understand? It's yours. But if you keep acting like it's not yours, you can never get in because you're just going to wander around like the Israelites in the wilderness. Like you're outside of it. So instead, if you're like, it's right there, it's already mine. So today I'm going to do the things that I need to do. And at the right time, each of those things will just drop. It will drop into my lap. And so that mindset for the things you desire is what helps have the confidence. So when you show up in the world, you're not needy, you're not desperate, you're not rushing. You're just like, I'm here today. And I'm so excited that that's already mine. And I can't wait to see it manifest in my life. And the crazy part is it manifests so much faster when you have the peace around it because you resist the resistance, right? You're like, no, I'm not, it's already mine.
Yeah.
But sometimes the friction is what puts you into that. I need that money because I have to pay this bill by the date. And then your brain starts thinking of solutions. So if you just trust that even in those times of stress, that it's because you're in like a pressure cooker so that you can make that goal happen. Like it's okay. It's not that you're a failure. It's not that like it's not working out for you. It's you're in this pressure cooker to think of outside the box than you normally would because now you have a pressure cooker. So I had like my most profitable day as I was about to go fight this huge court battle for my kids. Well, it's a pressure cooker. I needed that money. I needed tons of extra money and I didn't have it. And so what do? I'm thinking creatively. I'm thinking, how do I do this? I'm showing up in marketing consistently. And then all of a sudden 85K. So like you don't, it doesn't always happen without the pressure. So you just have to realize like that's life, but I'm going to hold my peace. I'm going to enjoy today and I'm going to trust it's all working out for me. And that's the confidence that attracts all these other opportunities. Does that make sense? Because people are like, how can she do that? She's amazing. And you're like, I know.
Yeah, I've been reading the Alex from the 85, which no, what 95.
100 million.
100 million. Yeah, I was reading it, and I know I was noticing that in his story. You know, like he has like all these like horrible things happen like after he made money, but it's like then it took him to the next thing. So yeah.
Is that a book?
Yeah, 100 million. The two books, there's 3 books I recommend. There's not a lot of books I recommend that I think a lot of stuff's fluff in life. So 100 Million Leads by Alex Hormozi, but 100 Million Offers is what we're all going through. They're also, these ladies are in my Shine Mastermind, which is a smaller, well, right now the 7-figure club, it looks pretty small. A lot of times people hire me one-to-one, so they don't come on these coaching calls because they're like, just do it for me. But the 100 Million Offers is what we're working through in our Shine Mastermind. And I recommend that book and the audible book of it because he recommends doing both at once. I was telling the ladies, like, I don't always have the time to do both at once. So I either will read quietly, but then I'll go for walks with the dogs and I'm listening and taking notes on my phone if I'm on a walk instead of at home. I'll have my notebook. So the premise is though, like he went through a lot where he lost a lot and somebody stole stuff, or like he was talking about the beginning of that book, how like the payment processor like withheld their fees. I've had that happen so many times. Right now I have $9,000 just held, and like I can't touch it till certain dates. Or like we just hold this. It's like this is a common thing when you make more money. And it's not always fair. And sometimes they just take it. They're like, oh, there was a fee or there was this one thing. You're just like, and it's unfortunate. So this is why you need more money. And so when he said that though, he talks about this grand slam offer, and like that's what I want for you guys this year. That's what I want for me. Like, is that it's not just a million, it's like 100 million. It's the point that like, and then you can reinvest it into anything. But it's focused on one business until you've hit a million annually minimum, and you don't deviate. You don't do these side things. You don't like, it's really sacrificing and turning everything else off until you've hit that 7 figures annually and you have that overflow really, and then you can reinvest or do other projects. But there has to be a focus when you haven't hit million annually and really profited a million. And I think that's where a lot of people, that's the difference between a hobbyist and a professional, is that like the people, because it's like, it's such a tiny percentage of people, and it's an even tinier percentage of women, friends. Do you understand the people on the top 10 billionaire list? Not one of them is self-made. There are some women. No, not the billionaires, women billionaires. All of them, it came from daddy or a husband. I'm not okay with that. So yes, there's Oprah's a billionaire, I believe, and so is J.K. Rowling, but they're not on the top 10, because the top 10 are people that like Walmart's grandkid. That's a lady, right? Whatever, it's not Walmart, but whatever his name is. And so my goal is in our lifetime that a woman would be self-made without a husband or a daddy giving her the money as a top 10 billionaire, if not multiples. So I just feel very passionate about pouring into women and wealth and us doing this. And it doesn't mean we don't work with men. Like I work with tons of men, but we need to hold ourselves a different way if we're going to win in business. And there's a lot of things. It's not because it's masculine, feminine. It's because we've been limited, and you have to blow it up. Like there are no limitations for you. You have a brain just like a man, and you have desires just like a man. So certain things are not male or female. This is gender, nothing. This has nothing to do with gender, except that somebody told you and you believed it from all these years of living that we don't make as much money, or we're not as good with numbers, or I should have my husband do the tech or the bills. No, you shouldn't. You need to understand how money works. You need to understand how savings works. You need to understand how investments work. And yeah, no, I never hear a man on a call say, let me ask my wife to invest. But almost every woman I've ever talked to does. Do you think that's okay? I don't think that's okay. I think it's okay if two partners, both of them say that. It's not okay if just one says it. So that's my spiel on women and men. So who wants to be a billionaire? Yeah, I do. Yeah. Hello. Yes, let's do it.
Put your hand up.
Yeah, right.
I'll raise both.
Good
We
hands.
want to be okay. Keep your hands up. Let's take our picture. Who wants to be? I want to be a billionaire. So happy. Yeah, we're gonna be billionaires. This is gonna get changed to the 10-figure club, baby. Seriously. And I would love to see, like, my whole goal with this is like, I pour into what I learned to all of you. I say, this is what's going on behind the scenes. This is what happened at this meeting. This is how this person's doing it better than you. And it's not in a negative way. It's in, let's do it better, right? We do our best until we know to do better, and we should do that. Not everybody does, but yes, good to see you, Amal. So, and you, Catherine, it's so nice to meet you. I love your vibe too. So I'd love to work with you gals, and you can message me. Maybe we can set up a Zoom. But do you guys all good? Melissa, Carrie, April, you guys know 100 million offers. Let's go kill it. Right? Okay.
My book is here today. I think it's on the porch now.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm doing my list. I'll have my updated offer for you.
Perfect.
Maybe tomorrow morning. I'm trying.
That's okay. I mean, it's even just like, hey, I did this much on there. It can be on your phone. Take a screenshot. The thing with the group and the mastermind is like, I'm going to share my little steps, because that's the tasks that'll help us hit the bigger things.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, this was awesome. Thank you,
Yep,
Tiana.
it was
Hi,
fun.
everyone. Hi,
Talk to you
girls.
later. Bye.
Thank you so much.
You're
Thanks,
welcome.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.